Alright everybody, I know it's been a little while since the last video, and I did say I was going to get a bunch of stuff for the Mustang, but I got a little bit carried away. So this is my new 2015 BMW M4. Alright, so let me talk about the car a little bit. This thing is amazing. It's been my dream car since it came out, pretty much. I had it in every single Forza, M3, M4, but I always like the M4 because it's sleeker, you know? It looks more like a bullet. The M3 is like more muscly or whatever, and I already have a big fat muscle car, so. Now you'll see the paint is Silverstone 2. It's a little dirty right now. I've just been driving it, obviously. And it gets really blue in the shadows, which I always loved. It was super hard to find one of these cars in Silverstone because they were either rebuilt or salvage title or 50 grand. And in my opinion, unless you're buying an M4 that has like 30,000 miles, you should not be paying $50,000 for one. Okay, so every car I drive, I compare to my Mustang because my Mustang is that much fun. This is the complete opposite of my Mustang. It took me forever to find cars that I could have bought with this option, but I did get the full extended leather on here. If you don't know what that is, basically there's leather like everywhere in the car. So like up here on the dashboard, it's stitched with gray. Like it's absolutely everywhere. The only places there are plastic, this is plastic. This is that really crappy, like cowhide, like fake leather plastic, which I wanted the least amount of it possible in this thing. And right here and right here in the door sill. It's a inline six with twin turbos. First of all, my Mustang's naturally aspirated. Hopefully I can get the Pro Charger for it, but right now, as far as the power, it is the opposite of that. It's not very loud because it's a stock exhaust, and it doesn't have the M Performance one, which honestly I would have probably changed out eventually anyways, but it's not crazy loud right now. Now, apart from the interior and the motor, you will also notice that this is a DCT. Now, before anybody says anything, I've driven the M3 comp in the 6-speed, and I absolutely hated it. It's like getting one of those cheap, like Walmart Thrustmaster racing simulators, and then throwing it in what would have been $80,000 car. But anyways, yeah, I mean, the fact that I found this car when I did and how I did was crazy. I hop on Facebook at like 2 or 3 in the morning. I'm about to go to bed, so I'm already looking through. And then for some reason, I don't know why, I just randomly changed my location to Michigan, of all places. But I see this thing, and this is the very first listing to show up. It was 32.5, posted like 4 hours before that. I instantly messaged him because originally I was gonna buy one of these when I had all the money set aside, and then just set up a separate like account that it could just pull the payments from for however long I did that. Obviously I didn't have all the money set aside yet, but I was just kind of like, I'm never gonna find this car again for this price. This thing was basically in perfect condition for 70 something thousand miles. Like, he has all his service records. It's garage kept. Now I know you guys are gonna be like, oh god, it's a Michigan car, watch out for the rust. Like, he didn't drive this thing in the winter. He barely even drove it in the rain. Like, I need to get new wipers because he never drove it in the rain. It was garage kept, never seen salt, snow, any of that. Most of the miles were just going to work. There's not a single problem with this other than 2 things that I found. Clear coat, which is a $100 fix. Done that on my Mustang before, on that carbon. And there are like 3 scratches in the clear coat right here. Other than that, everything is pretty much absolutely perfect. Now, I'm gonna have to do the rotors and pads, which I have no problem with because of how much money I saved getting this thing. But they aren't cheap at all. I got a notification, which is crazy by the way, that this thing has sensors in the brake pads. So it tells you, you know, whether or not the front or the back needs servicing. You can go into a separate menu and like figure that out. It's crazy. The fronts, after everything like shipping and tax, it's probably gonna be about $900. Same with the rears. And yeah, that's not cheap at all. But then I kind of have to look at the whole thing and realize I saved probably 10 grand. And I'm realizing that it's a 70,000 mile car with iron drilled rotors and giant ass Brembo brakes on it. Probably need to do the rotors, which makes sense. I'm not like upset about that at all. Now, apart from that, there is one other thing that I need to do that is a common problem on all S55s. It is this charge cooler right here. Now, I got him to do a full service inspection. It was really in-depth actually. Now, obviously, if you know about the S55s, you've heard about the charge coolers and how they'll leak. And if it gets bad enough, then they'll go down and leak into the cylinder head. At least I think it's the cylinder head or the valve train, I forgot. One of those, but it's not good and coolant doesn't need to be there. So I'm gonna be getting a new one of those as well. Those are also not cheap, but then again, that's okay. Now, as far as future plans for this car, right now I'm just trying to fix the Mustang, for being honest. I got side skirts to do, mirrors, windshield. I gotta tune it. I gotta get a new radiator. There's a whole bunch of stuff. The wheel's cracked and it's leaking. I'm fixing that right now. It's just a whole bunch of stuff that just happened all at once, basically right before I bought this, which is kind of funny. But anyways, I have 4 sponsors for this thing already, which is crazy. Now, it's not like full sponsors where they just send me like free parts and then pay me to put them in the videos, because I'm obviously not that big yet. But I do have a carbon wheel sponsor, obviously, Carbon Fever US. I run their wheel on my Mustang, and that thing is still perfect after probably a year. So I would definitely check those guys out. And then 3 other parts supplier companies. One's like OEM parts kind of, and then the rest are like carbon and mod sort of stuff. So like you're gonna be expecting like full aero and carbon, stuff like that. Probably a new hood, new lights all around, interior stuff, wheels, engine stuff. Also, I didn't really realize why like YouTubers back then made such a big deal about getting a full exhaust, because a full exhaust for the Mustang is like, I mean, mine's really expensive, but like a normal one is like $1,000 maybe less than that. The ones for these are absolutely insane. Now, torque is a huge thing when they're tuning these things. I don't really know what that's about, but I do plan on getting like a boot mode or boot mod, however the hell you say it, tune on this thing, just so I can run the CS tune and then do the GTS flash tune on the transmission, because you can tune the transmission and it makes it crazy. Like, it's night and day apparently. So I really want to do that. But like I said, you know, got to do rotors, got to do the charge cooler so I don't blow it up before that. And then I'll do that as well. So yeah, I have a bunch of stuff planned for this thing. I will be wrapping the roof to black because I don't love it silver right now. So the next order of business is how it sounds. Keep in mind, fully stock exhaust, fully stock car as well. But yeah, it sounds pretty decent. First and second gear, they are a little shorter. So when you're under load, it actually does sound pretty good. But yeah, it needs an exhaust, like pretty bad. All right, so I am gonna wrap things up by taking this for a drive. One thing I want to say first, in these M4s, you have your different drive modes. So this is for the transmission, actually. It is based on how aggressive you want the shifting to be, which is pretty cool because it actually does do something. This is steering feel. You have comfort, sport, and sport plus. Same with the suspension. Comfort in this car is actually pretty comfortable. I am on lowering springs. That's the only mod done to the car. And yeah, it still rides great. And then this is throttle response, basically. And it also opens up the valves. So yeah, kind of does both. These lights always stay on the dash, which are kind of cool. They just look cool. Anyways, I have my M buttons right here. I kind of realized that switching between go fast and comfort, this is the fastest way. I have M1 set for full comfort, and I have M2 set for just everything maxed out. I'm keeping the traction control on because I don't want to crash this thing because it spins like crazy and I'm not used to that. My Mustang hooks up pretty well, doesn't have that much power, so I do not want to just get overconfident and end up on the side of the road. That would kind of suck. But yeah, anyways, so I have both of these. I can just switch back and forth, and it's literally, I just press the button and it goes into the other mode. Now, one thing I haven't figured out, I don't know if this is a preset or something, but every time I get out, the default is efficient for the throttle and then sport for both the others. And if I'm being honest, if I'm not going fast, I don't want the steering to be heavy, because the steering gets pretty heavy. Like, I'm going right here and I tighten it up and it's like noticeably 30 to 40% more force to move this wheel, which is great when you're going fast, but not if I'm just normally doing nothing. As far as this whole interface thing, you kind of just like move it like that, which is pretty cool. I can go into vehicle info right here, hit vehicle status. We can kind of look at all this stuff, and then we can go into here, into the service required, and you can see it tells me what I need to do, which is pretty cool. Yeah, don't worry about the 500 miles. They're really not that bad right now. I've been engine braking a lot. Learned that in the Mustang. So yeah, we can take this thing for a drive real quick, and I can kind of show you what it's all about. Now, to get in drive, it's just pretty much just like any other car. I mean, you're here and you go into drive. Now, if you bump it again, it just depends on what mode you're in. I'm in my M mode, my second one, so it starts off in manual. You can program it, but that is just normal auto. If this focuses, manual. Now I use the buttons. And it sounds pretty good. Like, I can hear a couple burbles. We're gonna kind of go out this way. Now, I am using my turn signal with a BMW, if you're surprised. Whoop. It does the 3-click thing, which is cool if you're changing lanes, but when we really hit it, I'm sideways. Holy fuck. Yeah, so this thing's pretty fast, like a lot faster than the Mustang. After 4,500, the wheels were just spinning, but yeah, that was absurd. I don't even know what I hit there, but this car is fast. Like, it's actually fast. And the funny thing is, like, as soon as you do crank hub, you can just like slap on another 200, maybe 300, and it's fine, which is absolutely insane. All right, so I'm gonna wrap things up with this video. If you somehow managed to get through the whole thing, then thanks for watching. I can't believe this car's mine. This thing's insane. And the fact that I have 2 cars now to build is even crazier to me. I will definitely be posting a lot more now. I got a lot of stuff to do to both of these cars. Maintenance, mods, all of that. Now, kind of looking back, and I realized that like the timing video where I did the whole kit, people actually liked that and thought it was pretty helpful. So I might do some more like maintenance stuff, because I do it, but I just don't film it. So I might start filming some more just, you know, everyday maintenance stuff with these cars. Like, I'm gonna do the rotors for this, and you know, if you have an M4 and you don't know how to do it, that might help. So yeah, thanks for putting up with this god-awful video. All right.